Welcome here with me, Ilona Selke, in Borobudur in Java. I would like to share with you a couple of beautiful insights here from this monumental stupa monument, Buddhist monument, that was rediscovered and dug up out of the depths of the ashes of the volcano Merapi that had exploded about 1,000 years ago and covered the entire place with volcanic ash. It was built about 1,200 years ago, and describing all the various natures and blessings and stages of awareness, of Buddhic awareness, Buddha being the symbol for enlightenment and choosing a life of the middle path, not being attached and entrenched in physical life, but rather connecting the heaven on earth. And here we did a tour, but last night before I went to bed, I had a prayer and a meditation. It's like, God, take me, take me, take me. And I will offer my being at the circumambulation of Borobudur here in Java. It took us 2 days to drive here, and leading up to it we had to be in car rides. We had to be surrounded by bumpy roads, and with 4 people in the car, all cramped in, and I had a raging headache. And a couple of understandings I got is, it's on the pilgrimage, on the path to your destination, that you will discover your natures, your challenges, your weaknesses, and your strengths. And so some of mine were, hyper attention to details and organizing things, then also bumpiness, roads, and I noticed how all of us were working at being kind, considerate, and sometimes showing our weaknesses. Like maybe one person was more attentive to providing food and nurturance and making sure everything was taken care of, while others were like, I don't know, it'll come whenever, And we can just always look at our own life. What do we tend to do well? And where do we overdo or underdo something that brings imbalance into our life to come into a greater beauty? So for me, it has to do with bringing my speed down, bringing my tension and attention to giving and doing for maybe more than myself, which may be more than necessary. So some of our balance needs to be found. So we find that out in the path towards our goal, whatever that goal may be. In this case for us, it was coming to Borobudur. But then last night I went to sleep, and I had this beautiful communion with the divine, opening my heart. And I know others in our group were doing the same thing. And I said, I offer myself, take me, I'm yours kind of feeling. And the divine luminosity came back to me and said, I don't dwell in temples. You don't find me in the form. You find me in the interstitial fluid, the dimension between, the field effect of existence. So I attuned to that, where that voice was coming from, that message that I am in between the silence, the words. I'm the silence in between the words. I am coming from the place that is no form, no time, no space. But that's where you find me, and we find that in our innermost focused stillness of opening to that which is beyond, and then bring that into the form. We were approached by a guide, and there were many choices I could take. I could say, I don't want to have a guide. Or, okay, guide me, but I don't pay attention. So I chose to have a guide for a certain amount of time. And we learned a lot about the development and the revival of the monument that didn't always look like this. It was falling apart. Just in 100 years ago, it was crumbled. There were stages of restoration, all of which you can look up in Wikipedia, and it is a monument that stands within now a Muslimic culture. But back then, Buddhism was way stronger when it was originally built and was the dominant belief. So it came up from the north, from the Nepali side. Then the Hindus came and took over, and now Islam take over. And it's this braiding of understanding the mystery of life. One of them is now an old monument, the Buddhist monument which was demolished or tried to be attacked through a terrorist attack also. And we see how religions fight. But I liked what our guide said. He said, well, you know, right, we have the main dominant religion being Islamism here right now in Indonesia. It was something before, it's always in the changes. But we are taught to respect all and to embrace all and allow everybody their space. So of course they do it within the realm of Buddhist thinking, Muslim thinking, namely that Buddhism is a world philosophy, not a religion. So it's not a competition, right? So you can give it a placement within your whole cosmology. But what for us, or what for you, can you give the sense of equal value and importance? Because all of it is in the tapestry of creation. The caterpillar that was on my dress was there, the bark, the tree, the flower, the people of various levels, some evolved looking, some less evolved, some wise, some primitive, are all part of the whole fabric. Some may believe in the coming world of AI taking lead or guiding humanity and being the new God. Some may believe the opposite. We can all take from it that it's an individual path to listen to the inner divine voice. And there were things that I was shared with. I said, I opened myself and it said, don't share, because I'm a share kind of person. So certain things I will keep to myself. Some of them insights come through hardship and putting yourself through a pilgrimage. So if you ever feel invited to do a pilgrimage, even if it's a goal that you say means something. I remember taking a pilgrimage on a very similar stupa looking thing that's the duplicate of this that we have on Bali. It looks like this, it's a copy of Borobudur. And we take 2 sets of steps and we walk in the seminars. We walk 1 step and let it be the meaning of a new virtue. What virtue would it take for you to make your next step of evolution? Take a little walk, make a tree your pilgrimage point, and take maybe 20 minutes to get to the tree and make 1 step, asking yourself, what's the next teaching that I need to get from an inner master or inner levels, ascending to finer and finer frequencies within you, or asking yourself, what virtue, what quality can I embody and how can I express it? Kindness. Do I actually say thank you? Do I actually listen to people when they speak to me? Or do I think that I'm the most important one? And test your virtue in your life, because virtues come as a result of living a polished life. But you can look to virtues to help you polish yourself. Set a value and choose that value and choose to embody that for an entire year and encounter life that polishes you in view of the virtue you want to polish into existence. So make a pilgrimage to some point of destiny, whether it's your 20 steps up from your first level to your second level in your house, and make your house be the temple, and ascend to a higher frequency of you, or come to Bali and come to our Borobudur, and where I felt like I have transcended into superluminal states equally well. Whatever you wish, just place your attention to your refinement and listening to the divine, and let that guide you into your beauty that is immanent and living and dwelling within all of us at the center of our being. Namaste.